Move to the first weekend of February, and Todd, we have something special planned for Super Bowl weekend from China. It's going down on ESPN, Mission Hills Haiku in Hainan, China. The unified junior welterweight champion of the world, Jose Ramirez, will look to defend his title against former world champion and mandatory contender Viktor Postol. And I mean, a fighter in Jose, a former world champion, a big fight only is right to be on ESPN the night before the Super Bowl. What do you think about it, Todd?
Well, I think, if I'm correct, the first time we did it was last year. We took that Super Bowl Saturday. It was Super Bowl Saturday,
of
where Eleider and Kovalev were fighting, and then we put that with Teofimo in a fight, and also Oscar Valdez, and we consolidated kind of the show, and then did linear to plus. You know, it's Super Bowl Saturday. It's Super Bowl weekend. You're not going to get much bigger weekend than that in sports. Obviously, a lot of attention goes to the Super Bowl, but a lot of people are glued into ESPN to get a lot of information in sports, and we're going to be at the home and the epicenter of it. We may be a really physically
be at the home of it.
Our Super Bowl Saturdays in China.
Right.
We named that the Super Bowl of China. Mm-hmm. Now that we have a trade deal, it's appropriate. So, you know, but you know, listen, that fight to me this fight to me, the Postol Ramirez fight has two very big meanings to it. One is it's great to have Jose back. We let him go on somebody else's platform and kick some ass.
And then he got hurt.
Good to come back home, and what he said was, "I'm coming back to ESPN right on the other platform."
The other belt, right?
Really appreciate it. All right, great to have you back. Lent you out for one ass whipping and come back. All right.
To deliver that.
The other thing is, you know, Postol was a top-ranked fighter. We did a lot of fights with him. Never forget when he knocked out Matisse at Home Depot, and then took care of business. And then obviously when he fought Terrence in a significant unification fight in the summer, back when HBO said, "Well, we didn't want to put that on pay-per-view," so appropriately. So, so know the guys real well. Two class guys, elevated, top, like we talk about, 50-50 fights, really competitive fights. And the other thing that, you know, it kind of goes out, and some of you guys have, I mean, Lance is over here, right here, and he wrote an article recently about big fights that aren't being made, or how Terrence Crawford can't make a big fight. Well, here's another PBC fighter that is now we're making a fight with too. So, you know, he wanted to make the challenge. He was the mandatory. We made a deal, and we're on our platform. We may be very far away, but it's going to be a terrific fight. Two of the elite fighters in the weight class.
Let's start here with you, Victor. Do you have a microphone? Gardy, can you give him your microphone to translate for us, please? Thank you so much. Victor, here we are again on the cusp, on the verge of you getting an opportunity to fight for another world title. What does that mean to you at this point in your career, albeit far away in China, to possibly become world champion once again?
Наконец у тебя возможность драться за титул чемпиона мира в Китае. Расскажи об этом, что ты думаешь, что ты чувствуешь.
Good evening, everybody. I will speak Russian now. Хочу поблагодарить мою команду, Top Rank, моих промоутеров, моего менеджера за возможность, то, что мне дали такой бой с Рамиресом. То, что мы будем боксировать в Китае, я доволен и надеюсь, все сложится хорошо.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. And it's a big opportunity for me to fight in this card. And I would like to thank Top Rank, my promoter, my manager, for the opportunity to fight there. It will be in China. I'm excited, I'm hungry, and I'm ready to fight.
What would it mean for him at this point in his career to become world champion again, after all that he's been through at this point?
Что для тебя значит именно на этом этапе в твоей карьере такой бой, после того, что было с тобой?
Ну, в первую очередь, 36, у меня есть возможность стать чемпионом мира по двум версиям, поэтому это для меня большой шанс, и я все делаю для того, чтобы стать чемпионом мира.
First of all, I'm 36 years old, and it's a big opportunity for me to become a world champion and get 2 titles.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to it, but it's got to go through this man too. Todd's right, the unified champion of the world. And Jose, after the fight against Maurice Hooker, the win, the injury, you got a date and you're ready to get camp started. You've already got camp started for another title defense, and you're in tough again. I mean, they're going to be tough fights here from here on out. That's kind of the goal. Your thoughts on taking on the former world champ and the opportunity at hand on the eve of Super Bowl?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the media and Top Rank and my manager Rick, my team, for all the success that I've gotten in my career so far. And I'm still hungry, you know. Now as a unified world champion, I have that responsibility to train and to maintain that hunger, you know, to stay as a world champion, as a unified world champion. And you know, against a fighter like Viktor Postol, those are the type of fights that I sign up for, you know. So it's quite an honor for me to be a part of those big fights and fighting someone like Postol, who fought a lot of great champions before and has a good resume. My ultimate goal is to become undisputed, to become the undisputed world champion in the 140-pound division. It's one important step for me to get to that goal, and I'm working hard.
China, on the eve of Super Bowl weekend, a whole new audience. You've been very open to the fact that, you know, being a world champion means going and fighting wherever you need to do and getting fights from all over the world. Your thoughts on, you know, fighting over there?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, as a champion, you gotta learn to be able to perform in different settings. It doesn't matter what venue, it doesn't matter, you know, what country, what time of day. You know, you gotta learn how to be ready. You know, how to be ready to perform when the lights are on. So I feel like I'm that type of guy. You know, I just need a ring. That's it. And that's all I need is a ring, and that becomes my office for that night. And I'm ready to work. You know, I take this very serious. I respect the sport of boxing. I pray that I maintain myself humble as a champion, and you know, I don't think there's too many people out there that work as hard as I do. You know, and that's why I'm always prepared, and I will be prepared for China. I'm looking forward to it, and to, you know, hopefully gain more fans from that demographics, and then come back to the, you know, back to the States with 2 belts.
Yeah, I think on the China note, I think it's very similar. If you look at all the major properties out there, the NFL has made a commitment to London and Mexico. The NBA has made a commitment to, obviously, China. They got hit a little bit. It's our job as content holders, and that we feel that we have such a compelling sport to expand it, right? And show people, make it real, develop those markets to give them world-class fights with fighters from all over the world. So it's like, you know, we're kind of looking at the template of what other big sports are doing and what they do to expand the experience, and this is just one step towards that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So that's our kickoff to 2020. Again, January 11th on ESPN from the Hard Rock, Atlantic City. Jesse Hart versus Joe Smith Jr. in the light heavyweight division. The very next weekend, January 18th, live on ESPN, Turning Stone Resort and Casino. We have Eleider Alvarez taking on Michael Seals, and then we're wrapping it up, or we're just getting started in February. We had to have another thing going on in February, but we'll talk about that later. February 1st, ESPN from China, Mission Hills, Haiku. Jose Ramirez taking on Viktor Postol. Before I let you guys go, we're going to pose you all for some photos, and then after the photos are over, we have one other quick announcement, so stay tight.